University puts a pause on all membership activities on its campus following the death of a student.
Baton Rouge police say Kenner native Caleb Wilson died after collapsing during a fraternity ritual off campus. Chris Welty has more on the investigation.
20-year-old Caleb Wilson was a junior at Southern University studying mechanical engineering. The Kenner native graduated high school from Warren Easton, where he was also a member of the band. Police say Wilson and members of Omega Psi Phi fraternity were at North Sherwood Forest Community Park. According to sources, members of the fraternity were carrying out a ritual where pledges stand in line when Wilson collapsed. Wilson was unresponsive when a group of friends brought him to a Baton Rouge hospital. Wilson was pronounced dead at 3:15 Friday morning.
Send prayers out to the family and hope they can get through this, and hope SU can support in a supportive way.
An autopsy is pending to determine his cause of death. In a statement, Southern University says the campus is cooperating with Baton Rouge police.
All that information the detectives will look at, and then that will determine where we go.
I feel like as over time, we're going to see how it unfolding.
Wilson's death is sending ripples through Southern's campus.
SU is a community where we take pride in bonding together and uplift each other, and it's just very unfortunate that this situation happened to one of our family members.
Everybody on campus loved the Human Jukebox, even people that don't go here. So for them to lose a member of the band, I know it's going to be hard on them.
He was young. He did have a whole life ahead of him. And like you said, he was a member of our Human Jukebox, and he got great things going for him.
Leaders in Orleans and Jefferson Parish offering condolences. Saints and Pelicans owner Gail Benson released a statement calling Wilson a very bright student. Mrs. Benson went on to say, quote, "This tragic loss has hit very close to my heart. As his father, Sergeant Corey Wilson has worked with our team for many years. I have a deep and personal connection to his family. We mourn with him." Jefferson Parish Sheriff Joe Lapinto said, quote, "The Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office extends its condolences to Deputy Corey Wilson and his family following the heartbreaking loss of his son Caleb. JPSO stands in support of Deputy Wilson and his family."
That was Chris Welty reporting. We've reached out to the national chapter of Omega Psi Phi, but they declined to comment. We also asked Southern University if the fraternity is being sanctioned or investigated. Officials say all membership activities on campus, including fraternities and sororities, are on pause until further notice.
First, I got to send my condolences off to this young man and his family, man. Very sad situation, man. We've all seen the Burning Sands movie. I've been to 3 HBCUs. That's a historic black university. If you don't know what that is, a HBCU. I've been to 3 of them, right? And this has happened at one of them I've been to while I was there. There was somebody that was trying to join a fraternity, and he did lose his life. At another one I went to, there was a female chapter that was suspended for something, a hazing incident that had happened right before I got there. So, I've seen this stuff before. I know a lot of people who are in these fraternities, these D9 organizations. They said he was trying to join Omega Psi Phi or something like that. I think that's the Q dogs, the ones that hop around and bark and all that stuff, right? Yeah, man, we all know what these people have to go through to get in this stuff, whether it's beatings, getting paddled, possibly doing sexual behavior. And, to me, it's just something that's never been for me. I never thought about joining one of these organizations. I am more so like a non-conforming type of person. So, the closest I ever got to joining something that I would have to like conform and they would break me down and build me back up would be like the military, right? That's the closest I got to ever joining something like that. I do have a brother that he did try to join the Omega chapter, but he tried to, he didn't like what they were doing. Like they had him cutting the grass and doing a lot of stuff that he wasn't getting recognized for. So he decided to join the Alphas, I believe. But even joining them, he did have to go through some hazing. I make jokes about it with him. He does take it very seriously, though. A lot of them do, right? The reason why we see young guys joining these fraternities or women joining these sororities is, of course, there's the brotherhood, sisterhood aspect. A lot of these people, they get out of high school, they don't have a lot of friends. This guy Caleb, he was on the band, and maybe he was more so doing it for the connections and the network that it may offer, because he was in the middle of his junior year, right? He's in the middle of his junior year. I'm guessing he was close to crossing. Crossing is what they call it when you actually go from being a pledge to being a full member. I think that's what it is. Correct me in the comments below if I say anything incorrectly about these organizations, but yeah. So I'm assuming he was about to cross, and he was doing it more so for the network that it may provide. There's a lot of industries where people in these organizations have certain positions, and if you are trying to get into that industry, it's going to give you a leg up if you have somebody above you that is in the same organization as you. So that's another reason why people do it. To me, it's not really worth it with the internet and the wide range of ways to get rich nowadays. It's not really kind of worth it to me. But there are people that are still joining these organizations, and then you also have the people who do it for the party aspect, right? Guys didn't really get a lot of girls. They join these organizations. They are able to get women that they previously wouldn't have had. I know a lot of guys who joined for those type of reasons. And to me, it's sad because it's not worth it, man. It's not worth being emasculated, doing stuff that you wouldn't do. Also having to pay to play, as far as like you got dues you got to pay to just even be a part of the fraternity. To me, it's not worth it. It's not worth this young guy losing his life over, man. Definitely not worth it. Seemed like him and his family were very known in the community, which is sad, man. Which is sad that you gotta, for whatever reason, he felt like he needed to be a part of this. I think HBCUs in general are very toxic places. Me having been to 3 of them, it's a cesspool for sex, for drugs, for there are people who go to these places, they focus, get down in their books, but me personally, if I had a daughter, I wouldn't send her to one of these places because it's just the culture, right? It's black culture, which is already toxic. The black American culture already toxic, but you put that in with a bunch of young people living together, not many authority figures around, guys that just want to have sex, women that just want attention from men, and they're gonna be wanting to do what the women that are getting attention from men are doing, which is dancing sexually, being at all the parties, turning up, having hoes, having one night stands and stuff like that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I wasted a lot of time in college. I went to college first on a football scholarship, and then it got taken away. So I went through a lost period of trying to find myself. Luckily, I didn't find myself trying to join one of these organizations, but I ended up dropping out and just kind of doing my own entrepreneurial thing, right? But yeah, man, very sad story. It's sad also that what's more than likely going to happen is the organization on this campus is probably going to get suspended for a few years, and be right back to business after it, and probably just they're going to do it a little bit safer, but they're still going to be hazing. They're still going to be doing their own little thing, and the universities know that a lot of these people who join them, they are alumni, and some of them are successful, some of them are giving money back to the school, so they can't do but so much. That's why a lot of this stuff gets covered up. You see, they just saying nobody knows what happened to him, right? He just collapsed, right? So we gotta wait for an autopsy to that comes back, which that even may be some corruption with that. It's just unfortunate for his family that he did lose his life. Should have just kind of stayed with the band, people, man. The band is like its own fraternity. If y'all don't know, like if y'all haven't been to like a college, the band works hard, man. They work hard at all schools I've been to. The band works hard. If you play football, you come to the school early. It's like football players, whatever other fall sports are there, You're at the campus like a month early, the cheerleaders, and then the band, man. And you'll notice like the band, they work 24/7. They up early and they come back. Like one of my roommates was actually in the band. He would be gone all day, man, gone all day, because they got to get it right. They got to get it right. HBCUs do take their bands very, very seriously, and it shows at the performances, man. Got some of the best bands in the country, right? But like I said, my condolences goes out to this young man's family. Let me know what you guys think about this young man being unalived during a off-campus fraternity ritual, man. Sad story, man. As always, love y'all. I'm out.